I got time with Olu Fashanu after practice for a long time.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
Great conversation.
Good. We got pictures of that,
I have
too?
a great picture where I look like I'm in 6th grade. This is that's me as a 6th grade reporter with Olu Fashanu.
That is unbelievable.
Isn't that insane?
With your feet up on the pedestal there.
Yep.
Yo, what's up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Sorry we're late. We saw some of the comments. No, this isn't Matthew Berry. I'm not a host that's late for my own show.
We were working.
We were doing some work. We had Xavier Watts. We promised that for Friday. But, you know, we're at the mercy of these teams at times during training camp, and they showed up, the Atlanta Falcons, about 15 or 20 minutes early to do the interview, and therefore we weren't able to do it live. We had to tape that, and that's why we're a few minutes late. So sorry to all the homies out there and everybody watching.
Stock up Xavier Watts.
Yeah.
Not on time, early.
But like what you would expect from a Notre Dame guy.
Notre Dame guy.
And it's just
Brainiac
camp.
safety.
It's training camp,
right?
right? So it's like, oh, we're done with practice a little early. Hey, let's go do that interview. I don't feel like waiting around for 30 minutes and doing it. So that's where, listen, I understand that. I do. I was talking to Zay Flowers the other day too. And Zay Flowers is, hey, I want to go get in the cold tub. I got to make sure we're done in time to where I can get in the cold tub before meetings. Which I wanted to tell him is actually there's some interesting science about the cold tub right now.
More recently, right?
More recently.
Yes.
I think what we've been doing as athletes for a long time is wrong, is what we're finding out.
Wouldn't be shocked, because that's one of the oldest tricks.
It's one of the oldest tricks. And new science is basically saying don't go in the cold tub after a hard workout. Your legs are swollen with blood and all that for a reason. They're healing. You're stopping the healing process.
It's too much of a shock factor, right?
Yeah, well, it just stops the blood flow from the healing. So now they're telling you to go, if you have a hard workout, you're in training camp, wait 4 hours after that, and then you'll get the desired effect you want by going.
Did you relay that to Zay?
I'm trying to relay it to a few friends, right? I did not relay it to Zay. He got off and he was out of there. But I have tried to relay it to a few coach friends lately to go, hey, like, the science is kind of saying everything we used to do is wrong.
I mean, that makes sense.
Exactly.
How much of a shock it is to your system.
Yeah.
It's just we've done certain things so long that
everybody just is like, this is what I do.
You just do them.
Exactly right.
Oh, man. I was dying at the chat with my picture with Olu, who is a real 6'6", listed 312. He's not 312 anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean,
no way.
He said it in the interview. He's like, I wasn't healthy last offseason. I was healthy this offseason, so I just got right to work. I don't know what his official weight is now, but he is massive. And it is perplexing that he still has the 8.5-inch, which is 0 percentile hands.
That is
doesn't
crazy.
really matter.
No, it does
at
not.
all.
Nobody gives a damn.
Matters for quarterbacks.
Blocking people.
That's right.
Yeah.
These comments though.
312. NFL. It's funny, and I was going to ask Xavier Watts this a little bit. I feel like most skill guys get in the NFL and they go, and the other skill guys go, why are you so heavy? Like, what are you playing linebacker today?
Right. You got to run by people.
What are you doing? Right. We got to be fast. Right. But then the big guys get there, and very rarely do they go down. They usually just go, all right, I got to get a little stronger. And then, of course, they're naturally big. And as they get older, it just gets bigger. So, he's going to hit a point in his life here where he's going to have to go, oh, wait, I have to watch out what I'm eating, and I might get too big.
Yeah, I don't think he played football until 11th or 12th grade.
Yeah.
So I think it was more soccer, basketball. So it's like, whoa, what can you become?
Exactly.
Ali DeRoche said, that picture of Connor has me crying. Yeah, me too. Skippy126 said, Connor looks like a little action figure in that picture. I agree. Ends here said, wait, did Connor just imply Chris is a fake 6'6"? No, I did not. You're officially, what, 6'5"1/4?
Yeah, no, I was actually combine 6'4" and 5/8".
I think they cheated you on that.
I've been having this conversation a lot, too, with people in the public, is that, a lot of football players, you have some that mature early and are, junior year in high school, they're full grown in their muscles, right? But I would tell you the majority of them are more like, young pups or fawns when they're in high school, and they're growing in their bodies still. And then college is the same way. And I just think everybody would be shocked to know how many people actually are still growing at the end of their college career, early NFL. We saw Kevin Durant get in the NBA and grow 2 inches in the NBA. So, that happens. So my rookie year, I think Tennessee, after my rookie year, measured me, and I was 6'5", just a hair above 6'5".
Okay.
And they were like, damn, did you grow? And I was like, I don't know. I was always a late maturer. So I was a late bloomer
Probably.
that way. But, yeah, I don't know if I grew or if they just weren't quite as, strict with the measurements.
Yeah, and combine measurements.
Yeah, they smush your neck down.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, they push you down.
It's
that's
a questionable
funny.
process right now.
Yeah.
That's why guys are getting remeasured at the pro day.
Yeah, exactly
And
right.
there are big differences.
There is.
Sam J20 said, "Who is the lady with Connor doing the Jets interview?" That is Chelsea Sherrod. I know you met Chelsea at the owners' meeting.
I believe I did. That's
she
right.
is. She's a star. Chelsea. She does a great job. She will be covering the Jets all year round for SMY, but does basketball, does all kinds of different reporting. She's phenomenal.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool. So you got a little tandem there, SNY, you,
Yes.
Mr. Jets, Mr. SNY, New
But I'm
York
more
Star.
here. I'm
You
more
are.
dedicated
You
to
are
here. Yes. Yeah. Jets on
Yeah.
Sundays.
Yeah.
And then I got my day out at camp. But I am a full. You used to call me the side piece. I'm full-time
Yeah,
marriage
you're
here.
full-time. You're right.
Look
you're
at
my,
me.
You're my work wife now.
That's
Sorry.
damn right it is.
Sorry, I'm the work husband. You're the work wife.
That's
Sorry.
fine. I could deal with that. We got a lot today.
Yeah.
Top 10 running backs because the running backs are getting paid. We said it. We talked to Xavier Watts. We asked him about his running back that got
Yeah,
paid.
I know.
Bijan Robinson.
Exactly right.
But, man, we had football last night.
We had
And
football.
exciting football.
Totally.
I don't love, and I know this is a weird, I don't love when everyone's like, oh, the Hall of Fame game. It's like, we'll take anything we can get.
Totally.
But guys played last night that we knew. We watched recently in college, not just Carson Beck. So I thought last night was freaking awesome.
I did too. I mean, there's a few things that jumped off. I mean, certainly. But the offense, I think that's what the Hall of Fame game has been, maybe a little blah in the years past. Because you're just like, oh, man, the guy was open. That should have been hit. Oh, there was a big play there. Oh, it's a penalty. And, we get in games that are a little underwhelming and lack sexiness. That was not the case last night. And we had two pretty good quarterbacks start off the game right away. We're followed by some other guys that were talented and can make some plays. So that was the cool part. To watch Carson Beck and the way he wheeled and dealed, he's made for that environment right there. He's mature for that group that's on the field. Right. We know that. That was one of the values of him coming out in the draft is he's played big football. He's played in some different schemes. He knows how to play NFL quarterback right in the pocket. He'd read coverages. He's got no fear of his ability to throw with accuracy. That's the big thing with Carson Beck, right? I mean, how many throws did you see last night and go, damn, the window's tight or the coverage is good, and he put it right where he wanted, and he didn't flinch. And that's what you like about him, and that's where he's got great value. But, yeah, that was a really good showing by him last night.
I thought, too, something I questioned with him when scouting him, and there was a lot to like about Carson Beck. I know we both liked many things about him was since that UCL surgery, which is more of a baseball injury, the arm strength that he had at Georgia wasn't the same at Miami.
Yes.
It was fine.
Yeah.
But at Georgia, you'd be like, this guy.
Yeah, he makes some throws that open your eyes.
I thought like maybe we're further removed from the UCL surgery where I'm like, he's getting some of it back. The deep ball looked good,
The deep ball did look really good. I mean, that was, first off, like, really awesome by Mike LaFleur because I think early in the game he was like, damn, are they going to play us man-to-man tight coverage like this? We got to get him off of us. Let's call some double moves. He can make every throw. That's the thing about Carson Beck. And, yeah, he had that UCL injury because I think at times, you hear me say this, he let the arm be too floppy in an independent contractor. That puts a lot of stress on the elbow, and he had a problem there. I think he's throwing with his body a little bit more now and really connecting it all together, and he does have a naturally flexible arm. So, hey, the big debate with Carson Beck is going to be, is he a really awesome backup or does he have a chance to be a starter one day? That's the thing. And with all that he played last night, I'm going to sit here and tell you, yes, it was impressive, but I still wouldn't go, oh, wow, I definitely saw a number of like NFL starting wow throws, right? That's the thing that I would like to see more than before I go, oh, yeah, he's a starter. For me, yeah, the guy you heard me compare him to in the draft a lot is I think this is Davis Mills. Right? People are going to go, ooh, maybe he could be a starter, but if he's not a starter, he's like one of the best backups in football. So that's always a good thing to have for your football team, and maybe he can prove me wrong and say, hey, Simms, kiss my ass. I am going to be a starter, and I hope that does happen.
It was a good start for Carson Beck. Spenny Muse agrees. He goes, I know it's early, all caps, but Simms looking good with that Beck ranking, best in the business. Well, nice little shout out there for you from Spenny.
Well, I again, he was relevant. I think he's talking about my quarterback ranking, right, for just putting him in there. I knew he'd have a chance to be the backup and maybe be in line if things went wrong with Jacoby Brissett to where it just didn't work. You go, oh, maybe he'll be the starter. Maybe they'll see what he has. He's still, if the season falls apart, I do think he'll probably get thrown in there at some point to go, hey, let's see if this guy can be our starter going forward, or do we have to draft a quarterback? So that was cool to see. It was nice. I mean, listen, we saw basic what we saw is the most basic defenses in the world. I was trying
Right.
to explain this to my wife last night. I was going, look, it's basic. There's no blitzes. I go, look at this coverage. I go, it's the same coverage as the play you saw before. And I said, these are two really smart offensive guys that go, okay, if you're going to play like this, we're not reinventing the wheel, but we'll run the proper play that will always get the guy open against that coverage.
Right.
And I think that's what you saw. I saw Canales and Michael Ford were like, oh, okay, you're going to play 4-3, cover 4. Okay. I'm not going to go deep in the playbook, but I got 4 or 5 plays here that you won't be able to cover. And as long as my quarterback reads it right, we'll be fine. And I think that's where you just saw kind of the surgicality of both sides of the ball moving up and down the field.
And that's the thing where it does translate to the box score with the completion rate. Like Carson Beck was 15 and 19. Keaton Slovis was 9 of 10. Haynes King 21 of 34. But Kenny Pickett 8 for 11. It's just like, okay, if
That's
one
what
big
I'm
play is
saying.
not there, there's so many quick throws.
Exactly.
They've been practicing for what, 9 to 12 days?
Yeah, it's not that many days.
Yeah.
You don't have that much of the offense in. They're not trying to show you plays that they want to run during the regular season and their best stuff. So, yeah, you see the basics. That's what you see off of that. One of the other things that caught me by surprise, and you saw me text this right away, Kenny Pickett, no glove on his throwing
glove,
hand.
Kenny.
I was shocked by that. Shocked. I almost, I want to know what happened. Why are we getting away from it? Everybody that's been listening to me, and ever since back in my Bleacher Report days, if you're throwing with a glove, that means you can't throw.
Yeah, it's your instant,
that's
like,
kinda
I'm
been
out.
my thought. Yeah, I mean, if you can't, if you need a glove to throw the spiral and feel good about the way you throw it, then you're not that gifted of a thrower. And now I understand there's been some great quarterbacks who have tinkered with it and whatever else. Brady tinkered with it for a while. Ben Roethlisberger did it. But they got off of it because they started to realize, wait, there's certain throws that I'm less than with because of the glove. You can't touch and flick the ball as easy. And there's changing the arm angle. You got to actually I got to think about how I'm going to get this ball out of my hand because the glove is so sticky. So I thought that was cool. I mean, Kenny Pickett, again, he's one of the more experienced, better backups in football as well. And like you said, he was efficient, knew where to go with the ball. And we saw a lot of that last night from all the quarterbacks.
Kenny Pickett, also 8.5-inch hands.
Well, there we go.
That's
There
a
we go.
position where you do care about it.
Yeah, you do care about
It's
it.
the
And
ball control you always say, right?
Well, yeah, it's the ball control. And I remember hearing Brady and even Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner had to do it because he hurt his hand, right? And he never had the same strength in it. But I remember Brady specifically saying, with certain throws, I got to dip down and just flick it like this. It doesn't come out the way you want. And that's where, oh, wait, I'm off my back foot, and I just got to kind of get it up over somebody and drop it in the bucket. It's a little weirder with the glove on. So that was cool to see as far as him taking it off, and he looked like he threw the ball well. The other guy we got to talk about is the other quarterback.
Well, we got Beck, but you want to talk about Haynes King?
Yeah, I think so.
Haynes King, who it felt like at Georgia Tech was often a battering ram.
Right.
Looked like a quarterback last night.
It looks like he's going in that direction.
Right. Yes. Not like a Tebow variant.
No, exactly. He's got more potential than Tebow to throw the football and do that. And you go, oh, wait, there might be something here if we continue to.
Funny
tweet
that's
a great one. That is hilarious. But yeah, we kind of said it during the draft process. Haynes King reminded me of Riley Leonard at a Notre Dame. That kind of guy where you go, ooh, there's throws I see every now and then where I go, wow. And then the athlete is indisputable.
Right. That's his calling card.
He's our perfect example of the guy we always talk about, right? There's quarterbacks who are athletes and then athletes who are quarterbacks or got played to quarterback. And I think that's who he is. He's an athlete who's slowly but surely learning the nuance of quarterback, learning how to play in the pocket, learning how to make a variety of throws. And, yeah, he made some impressive throws. But like you said, too, we saw some throws where you go, oh, wait, that didn't come out clean. He's still a little mechanical with how he does things. I want to go, hey, go work with Matt Simms, my brother, and he'll teach you a few things, and you'll go into a different stratosphere. But, hopefully he will get with somebody. But, again, you see a little potential there, and I think that's the exciting thing for Haynes King and the Carolina Panthers.
Always good to get a stratosphere snuck into this show. I'm not letting it go. I mean, insane athlete. 4'4", 640, 6'8", 9'3" cone. We know what he could do with his legs, but I'm with you all the way, Chris. When he got in and, they don't always say right away who's in, they just make a completion.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, who's in? Who is that? And I was like, it's Haynes King.
Yes.
He threw the ball, I thought, with pretty good touch when asked to at Georgia Tech. Last night I actually saw him throw in the quick game like a quarterback.
Yeah. Got it out, drove the ball. His worst throw of the night was that wide open touchdown he had along the right sideline where the guy was wide open and he tried to just throw it too hard. And it's like, hey, he's open. Just touch it in there.
Right.
Boom. But regardless, progress is made. And I think that's the biggest thing there.
Fourth and Blunt said he didn't play a lot, but Lee Hunter flashed. Simms says F to play up, and I think him with big Derek Brown could be a good duo.
Well, I love Lee Hunter coming out in the draft. I mean, I loved him. I mean, he's
the fridge.
He's big. He's freaky. He's bendable and movable. You see him overpower people. So, yeah, he's one of those guys I look at to go, don't be shocked if in, 3 or 4 years we're going, hey, he's one of the better D tackles in football. He's about to get paid. He's a specimen. So, yeah, not shocked to see him, especially, against some lower-level offensive linemen, F some plays up and blow some things up. I tried to watch Basantis, the right guard who was in there.
I thought Basantis was pretty solid.
He looked good. He looked good to me, right? On the few
Yeah.
plays that I did focus on him, it looked right. That's
He
for
just
sure.
moves well.
Yeah.
Like when they have him climb, it's like, oh, that's Basantis. Like it looks different than the guys that are maybe more camp bodies.
Exactly. Well, it's sharp and
Right.
It's sharp and explosive and to the point. And then of course he's got a physicality to him that you see and go, damn, he's fearless about sticking his face in there and trying to dig somebody out. But Lee Hunter, again, Lee Hunter is one of those guys. He could be a superstar. He really could be. We always talk about those guys drafted in the second round. Yeah, he had a few things maybe you didn't like, but, man, there was a lot more good than bad. And he was one of the big freaky guys, just like my guy Caleb Downs up in Minnesota, who everybody was like, whoa, he's going in the first round. Well, everything I hear from Caleb Downs is he is just destroying people up in Minnesota. And these guys.
Caleb Banks.
Caleb Banks.
Yep.
What did I call him? Caleb Downs?
Caleb Downs, who's also a really good
who's
rookie.
and is also destroying
the
camp.
class
But
of
Caleb
Caleb's.
Banks from Florida, the D tackle in Minnesota, who's the surprise first round. Right. Lee Hunter has some of those qualities too. And, yeah, you're not wrong, Fourth and Blunt. I love that name. He could be a dynamic duo with Brown.
Simms burner account.
Yeah.
A lot of important football things from this game, but maybe none bigger than apparently there was a Simms jersey at the Hall of Fame game
I'm shocked
that Florio
by that.
found.
I'm shocked. Right?
That is awesome.
Look at that guy right there. Now, that's a friend. Now, the guy's probably like, where I want to go is this is quite the fan, but maybe so much like he's a great fan, but not enough of a fan to not know that I'm not on Sunday Night Football
You
to
weren't
be there.
You probably wanted it signed.
Sign it. No, they fired me from that job. I'm not on there anymore. Sorry. But, yeah, every now and then I see one of those, and look at that, the Reebok sign on the patch on the side there.
That is shout out to Joey.
Thanks,
is his
Joey.
name.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it, man.
Simms fan. He knew you were number 2.
Yep. He also had Florio Wright autograph his book with Big Shield. So he must be a big PFT fan that way.
Yep. True sicko.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Anything else from the Hall of Fame game?
No. First off, watching Drew Brees and Luke Kuechly and Larry Fitzgerald, that was amazing. Again, those are legends to me and guys that I know pretty closely. Roger Craig is a memory of my childhood.
Right.
I watched him and it was always like, oh, would you fumble? Would you drop the pass? You freaking jerk. I hate you 49ers beating the Giants again. But no, that was cool to see. And then, listen, I think the other thing that's worth bringing up is Mike Tomlin's awesome. Mike Tomlin is awesome. He's awesome.
There was no warm-up needed.
No, not at all. He's made for that. And as you've heard me say, and I've said a million times, he's one of the best talkers and communicators I have ever been around. And I come from a business in communications here and on the football where that's what they do. So to say he's that, I'm just telling you, that's like the impression he left on me, and I know a whole bunch of other people as well.
Yeah, I think everybody was not surprised, but just how right away.
Yeah. Well,
Mike Tomlin's going to be great at this, and we'll be seated to watch it all the time.
Totally. Yeah, he's the man, and it's going to be fun to watch him all year long.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we're back, we did have Xavier Watts on the show right before we went live, and we had a lot of questions, none more important than his new hairstyle going into the season right after this.
Yo, what's up? All right, we got a little special guest here, Xavier Watts, Atlanta Falcons. Connor and I have been watching Xavier and waxing poetically about him really since college at Notre Dame. All right, first order of business here, big timer, and thanks for joining us. I do appreciate it, man. We're big fans of your play.
Appreciate that.
Why did we cut the dreadlocks? What happened to the dreadlocks? What happened there?
I just wanted a fresh start. I had them for about 2.5 years or so. They got pretty long. I just wanted a fresh start, new chapter of my life, so I chopped them off.
Xavier, let's go back to the rookie season. I know you said you want a fresh start, but we got to talk about this strong rookie season. 4th in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. You did get a first-place vote, by the way. Your own teammate, James Pierce, finished 3rd. How would you grade your rookie season? Because the public really liked it. I think you caught some people by surprise, but how would you critique your own rookie year?
I feel like I had a pretty good year. Some things I wish I could do more. I mean, I'm always striving for more. I feel like I could have did even better, but I feel like it was a strong start to my NFL career.
Where do you get these ball skills from? I mean, you're supposed to be on defense. You're not supposed to be able to catch the ball. That's usually how it works in the NFL, right? But you, ever since we watched you in college, you have incredible instincts and incredible hands. So I'd love to know kind of where that developed in your skill set there.
Yeah, I definitely think it has to do with my background in terms of playing receiver. I came into college as a receiver. I got recruited in high school to play receiver. So I feel like that has play a role into it. But, just naturally, I feel like, I just have some type of knack just for getting to the ball, finding the ball, and catching it. So. Yeah.
Was that transition hard going receiver to, okay, now I got to play safety and tackle people and be a little bit more physical?
A little bit. I played safety in high school as well, but at the college level, especially at Notre Dame, it was a little difficult going against some of the best of the best. But it was okay transition.
Did you have a preference? Like, did it take some warming up to of, okay, I'm a full-time defender now, but I'm going to remind you that I could also still catch the ball, or did you just kind of jump into that with no hesitation?
Nah, for sure it took me some time. I wanted to play receiver. I came to school as a receiver. I thought I was doing pretty solid, but just getting adjusted to it took some time, but I obviously ended up working out pretty good. So.
Yeah, no, it's working out real good. What was the toughest part of it, right? Like, what was the toughest adjustment part there for you?
I would initially say, because I switched to linebacker at first. So I'm not really a linebacker type of body. I'm not a linebacker guy. So that initial transition was difficult, but, learning the defenses was a little hard as well. But, like I said, I got adjusted to it.
Your secondary, you guys got some ballers back there, but they're not everybody's a household name. First off, tell us about Jesse Bates and kind of what he's done for you so far in your young career.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an awesome role model for me. He's a guy I modeled my game after coming into the NFL. So just having him by my side, learning from him every day has been awesome. It's really helped me develop. Like I say, you got guys like AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes. And then we got a young guy like Billy Bowman at nickel as well, and a couple other vets back there as well. So, I mean, we got a good group of guys in the back end. I'm excited to see what we do this year.
I wanted to ask you about Billy Bowman.
Yeah.
Does it help coming into an organization with another DB where you kind of look at each other and you're two young guys and you kind of go through that transition process together?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been good that, me and Billy, we were both kind of thrown in the fire together.
Definitely.
So, kind of being there for each other, I would say, came in together. We both played safety together, or not together, but both played safety, so we knew the position. So just coming in with him, and it's been good with him. He's a good dude, he's a great player, so it's been awesome with him.
Yeah, I mean, Billy looks like he's an athletic freak. That's where, like, between you, AJ Terrell, Jesse, right? You guys got like you said, potential. Do you guys hang out off the field? Are you guys like a close group? Hey, let's hang out and do something together kind of group there?
Yeah, I'd say we have a close group. Everybody's got their own things going on, so you try to get with each other as much as possible. But I feel like, as a DB room, we have a pretty tight group.
So you've already seen 2 different training camps now. You have a Raheem Morris camp last year. What's the differences this year with Kevin Stefanski? Does it feel a lot different style-wise?
Yeah, I would say so. They're 2 different type of people. 2 different styles of coaches. Just kind of the structure and how everything's been set up has been a little different as well. But, I feel like it's been a good camp so far. It's been pretty tough, so it's been good.
Is one more physically taxing or mentally taxing or just different?
I would just say different. like I said, they just have their differences in terms of who they are and how they run things. But I would say it's a little bit more physically taxing this year versus last year.
Okay.
You're fortunate. You've been around two good coaches. You came from a place at Notre Dame. Your defensive coordinator was Al Golden there, right? Do you still keep in contact with Marcus Freeman, one, and Al Golden, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals?
I haven't talked to Coach Golden in a while. With Coach Freeman, he actually checked up on me maybe a couple of weeks or about a month ago or so. Try to stay in contact with those guys as much as possible. Like I said, we all got our own stuff going on. Notre Dame's trying to go win a natty, so hopefully they do. So Coach Freeman's got his own stuff going on.
So, all right, you had some Debbie Downer news this week, right, with like the Jalen Walker injury. Talk about what he meant to the team and, kind of what was your guys' mindset when you saw that and realized how bad it was?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's terrible news to see. Like when I was on the field, I seen. I mean, it was just devastating to see. And then once we found out after the fact when the results came back or whatever, it just it's heartbreaking. Jaywalk, he was dealing with kind of stuff last year, and he battled through it and got back to the year and started helping us out, and then hoping for a big year this year, and then kind of things don't go his way. So it's just devastating to hear, but we're gonna go out there and play for him. He's gonna come back stronger. Me and Jaywalk are real close, so out of my personal way, I'm gonna go out there and try to play for him as well. So
we've asked you about a lot of the changes, but a constant is your defensive coordinator and Jeff Ulbrich. What's the advantage of having him back with the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, it's about the same defense.
Right.
There's not a lot of crazy changes. We're going to do what we do well and improve on what we did last year, what we could work on. So, it's good to come in and, know the defense already to a certain extent and play fast.
I know you don't know crap about me, right? You're probably just like, well, you just got a big mouth and whatever. But I did play quarterback in the NFL, and I was a lefty. And you right now are dealing with two lefties in training camp. First thing is it weird seeing the ball come out of like the other hand for you? Like, does lefty have any mental weirdness to you back there at the safety position?
Yeah, somewhat. It is a little different. And like I said, there's not a lot of lefty quarterbacks in the NFL. And then, like I said, we're on the team with two of them. So, I mean, it's a little different, the way the plays are ran, the boots, the way they got to roll out and stuff is different. So,
right.
But I mean, football is football. At the end of the day, I'm going to go out there and try to find the ball regardless. So.
Well, we'll talk about football with the two quarterbacks a little bit. Of course, that's the hot button topic with your team, right? But just from your assessment, not that you got to say one's in the lead or the other, but what does each guy kind of bring to the table that's kind of annoying for you back there trying to read them?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tua is very accurate in terms of, some of his throws he's been making. He's pretty precise in, his short to medium game. And then Mike has a really strong arm when he's out there in 7-on-7. He can really rip it when he gets going. So I mean, some of his tight rope throws are hard to get to. But they've both been doing pretty well.
The last one from me, the good news, the Bijan Robinson extension, that had to bring really good vibes to the team, right? We know how much he means to the entire organization.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're all glad to have a guy like Bijan. He's an amazing playmaker. He's kind of pretty much the soul of the team. So, I mean, just extending him, it's good for the locker room, good vibes, and good for the organization.
I want to have some fun with you. Like, first off, but we won't keep you too much longer. I know you got better things to do. But I always love to hear the young player. What was your come-to moment in the NFL with another guy on another team where you were like, holy crap, right? When I remember my rookie year, I stepped on the field and saw Julius Peppers, and I was like, holy shit, you're Julius Peppers? Like, what the hell are you? What planet are you from? Who was your moment like that in your rookie year?
It's probably the first game when I was guarding Mike Evans. It was like an empty formation, and he got out to the boundary, and I was guarding him, and I kind of sat there. I was like, oh, wow, this is Mike Evans. Like, I'm guarding him. And then I had to snap back into reality real fast. But that was pretty much my moment, I'd say.
Okay. All right. And what about a guy that you were like, damn, I didn't realize he was that good. Like, I didn't realize he was that fast or explosive. Did you have anything like that either?
Yeah, definitely Christian McCaffrey. Played the 49ers. he got me a couple times. I missed a couple tackles. Some of his cuts were pretty good. He was a little sneaky with it, so I say McCaffrey for sure.
All right, he broke your ankles, that kind of, or just a little shake?
He
All
didn't
right.
break my ankles. Got me sliding a little bit. Not too bad though.
Yeah. How about this? Right, the running back you got right now, who's special, and you played with a special guy in college. Jeremiah Love, Bijan Robinson. Talk about the similarities, the differences in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, J Love is a special player. The difference between those two is, I don't know. I mean, they're pretty similar. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I don't see anything too different between the two. They're both very elusive. I would say with J Love though, he's a little more contact oriented. He likes to
He'll bring it.
show there. He wants to go hit some people, and obviously he loves to hurdle people. So he's a little more athletic in those ways. But Bijan's just a freak. I mean, the way he makes his cuts, his vision is crazy. So
yeah, well, he's a Texas guy like me. He's real smart. He's like, no, I don't need to hit you like that. I'm just going to make you miss and do that way. That's how I look at it, at least. All right, you talked about your game, and this is the last thing for me. It's just that you're an awesome football player. I mean, we love watching you. What's the thing you tried to improve on, this offseason that you went, I got to get better in this area?
Yeah, I feel like the thing I need to improve on is kind of reading the defense not reading the defense, reading the offense in terms of, the offensive formations. Kind of every formation kind of tells a story, I'd say. So kind of just seeing what they're trying to do to me and, read and react faster. I feel like I have a good grasp on it, but I've missed out on a couple of things if I would have knew what was coming a little bit quicker.
Yeah, right. Just being one step ahead of the game, kind of expecting what a team's doing in a certain formation or a down and distance. You're talking about that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You got any more?
No, I'm actually if he gains even more instincts, are we going to talk about 7 or 8 interceptions?
Yeah, well, 7 or 8 interceptions.
That,
I've been just kissing your guys' asses lately on the defensive side of the ball, talking about the potential that your secondary has and what you guys can do. And you're like one of the friends of the podcast because we think you're awesome, Billy Bowman. So what I'm basically saying is don't let us down, okay? All right, prove us right.
Have a great
year,
year,
from
Xavier.
you, dude. All right?
I got you guys. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Best of luck, Xavier. We'll see you, man.
Thanks
for coming
Xavier.
on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Of course, that was Xavier Watts, Falcons safety, probably in for a massive year 2 because he already comes into the league with pretty unique instincts, and now he's saying no, I need to actually read formations and see everything in front of me.
Yeah, well, that right. He's only going to get smarter, and then he got to stay in the same defensive scheme. So he's not going to have to think about really his defense anymore. He's going to be able to focus in on, what is the offense doing? And they have tremendous potential, like we talked about. That's why I think the Bijan Robinson contract and getting him there was so big. The quarterback situation's a little dicey right now. They got a great offensive line. They got potential to be a top 10 defense, maybe even better if some of the guys on the front 7 play.
That's the
up to their
variable
capabilities.
now. Yes.
Right. Without Jalen Walker, is James Pierce going to be suspended? You have to worry about that. But I mean, again, just say the names out loud. When you say AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts, you just go, "Ooh, that's a pretty damn good 4." And that's where I'm excited to see what Atlanta can do this year.
All right, we got one more break. When we're back, the running backs keep on getting paid. We're going to have Chris rank them again. And the Commanders sign a veteran wide receiver, but not the one we've talked about for months. Look at the highest paid running backs. 2 more into the top 3. Jahmyr Gibbs now sits at the top. Jonathan Taylor gets a mini extension loaded with guarantees, $39 million guaranteed in a 2-year window. He sits at number 3 on annual average, Chris. So Gibbs, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor at the top. Good to see these running backs getting paid.
Yeah, slowly but surely it's getting there. They're still worth more. They are. And I wish we could find a way to, make it a little bit more lucrative for them, as we always talk about. They're the biggest freaks of nature on the football team. Jahmyr Gibbs, for my money, if you ask me to take one running back in football right now,
that's who you take.
I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs. I've been saying that all week. I said it last week to Florio. I said, that's my guy. I mean, that is. I love Bijan Robinson. You know that.
Yep.
But Jahmyr Gibbs is just the explosiveness and the way in which he can score anywhere on the field at any moment, to me, is just it's pretty special right now. And, I think he is the best running back in the sport, and it's good to see him be the next guy there to be the highest paid guy.
Is Bijan the decisive number 2, though? Or do you think that door is a little open because you have Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, right.
It's weird because Saquon and CMC didn't look like their peak form last year.
Exactly.
So now we're in are they slowly trending downward, or is it a bad year?
Yeah, well, that's why we're having this conversation.
Right.
Okay, so yes, clearly Bijan. I almost want to go. I want to go almost. Gibbs is 1. Freaking Bijan is 1A, right? I mean, it's that close.
1B?
Yeah, 1B. A was a little closer. I was trying to make
you're
it
right.
tighter, okay?
Yeah,
All
that's fair.
All right, but regardless, so I do look at those two. But this came off a little bit of I saw it on Bleacher Report the other day, and then I was talking to Mike, and we were getting the running back conversation, and I believe they had Christian McCaffrey as the 4th-rated running back in football, and I just want to go, that's crazy. That's crazy. He's really good. Don't get me wrong. Hall of Fame caliber type of football player.
Right.
But we're at a point in his career where we're still holding on to years and years past. And I am extremely concerned for my friend out in San Francisco about Christian McCaffrey when I look at it. And I mean, again, last year, he didn't have a run over 20 yards until the last game of the year. It's the 49ers. It's Kyle Shanahan. The whole league's copying his run game and doing that. That's not because they couldn't open up a hole. I know they weren't great at opening up holes last year. It was a lesser year than usual with the Shanahan type of football team. But I just going to, other running backs, if they were playing in San Francisco last year, would have had more than one 20-yard run. That's all I'm saying. He's in the perfect spot for what he is in his career right now. So the stats and the touches are going to make it look misleading. He's with the ultimate coach who knows how to get somebody open 5 yards down the football field. Yeah. And, of course, that's in his skill set. And I'm not taking away from that. It's really good. But anybody knows that when you watch me, I'm not worried about, he got 25 touches for 4 yards. I want 19 touches for 100 yards.
Well,
an
explosive plays.
I'm
chasing
a little bit
big
more
plays.
into that. And especially I think we are there right now. So that's where it's a jump off. And then Pete heard it. And he's like, oh, gosh, he texted last night, you're going to rank the running backs in the middle of the preseason game, right? And so I was like, okay, whatever. But then as the night got old, and I was like, I'm not going to sit here and rank my running backs. Right? So we'll have a conversation about the guys that I think are actually better than Christian McCaffrey. And running back, football years are like dog years anyways.
Yes.
Every year of your career is it's like getting 7 years older for the rest of the public. And
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's really what it is.
Yeah.
And so we saw a drop-off from him and Saquon last year. And, I think you're going to see another gear missing in their game this year as far as their speed is concerned. So, I guess I was just shocked by that. And I think that's, again, where this team and the stats and the coach are being all intertwined with the player, and people can't figure out exactly who's who or what's what or how good the guy is because of that.
Well, let's do it like this. I want to see the top 10 highest paid running backs again one more time.
Yeah, cool.
Is there a guy on this list that you would take out of the top 10 in a ranking and put in a James Cook, Chase Brown, Genty, Amarian Hampton, Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams?
Well, okay. I mean, I would take James Cook over Christian McCaffrey right now all day. I'm just
Cook feels like the standout.
I mean, I might take Travis Etienne over him at this point in his career.
He had a great year.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Kenneth Walker, I'm definitely taking over Christian McCaffrey right now. Again, I don't sit here saying this trying to downplay Christian McCaffrey, right? I think he and Derrick Henry at this point of his career are a little overrated. I think Derrick Henry, though, is better than Christian McCaffrey right now. As far as, first off, I want running back. And you see Derrick Henry's giant man. So that size and power, he doesn't lose that. And then we saw Derrick Henry take off for 50 and 60 and 40-yard runs all year last year.
Juice, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, off of this list right here, if you just go, wait, what running backs would you take over Christian McCaffrey? I sit here and look at it, and I would take every one of them over him. Every one.
So every guy in the top 10 paid less than him.
I would take them all.
And then you'd put Cook over him?
I would put Cook over him, yes.
And you said maybe...
I know. Maybe Travis Etienne. I think he'd be in that conversation there. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I'm missing here. Josh Jacobs is always an interesting one.
Right.
Maybe I wouldn't right now in this point of his career, but it's closer than people think. And then you're going to have other guys that are going to come up the ranks here. I just would be shocked if, like, Travion Henderson isn't more of a part of the New England offense, and they're getting him crazy touches this year. Because Josh McDaniels got a lot of that Shanahan ability to go, oh, wait, I know how to throw to the running back and do that and get him out in space and play that football game. So, again, I don't mean this to sound like crazy disrespectful. I don't, because this is an awesome football player that I have tremendous respect for. But I do think in the league, in a lot of positions, we hold on to people too long. We hold on. I go on to Kay Adams last year, and I tell her it's coming to the end for DeAndre Hopkins, why he's waiting on. And, everybody, oh, it's not the end. It's DeAndre Hopkins. And no, it's the end. It's the end. Sorry. He's not the same DeAndre Hopkins. We hold on to all that. Mike Evans. Mike Evans is awesome. Hall of Famer. Just because his name's Mike Evans doesn't mean he gets to be put in the top 10 receivers. No freaking way he's a top 10 receiver. And I just think we lose that sometimes. We don't appreciate the young guys enough when they're in their prime, and we hold on to guys that are outside their prime and going, hey, he's not as good as you think anymore. What are you talking about? I don't know. This guy's clearly better. And I feel like people are just coming to like, oh, maybe Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs are better than McCaffrey. And it's like, what? That's been, and that will continue to be as we go here forward.
I'm going to ask you an insane question.
Yeah.
Next 2 years.
Yeah.
In Kyle's run game.
Right.
You have to pick between Christian McCaffrey or Jadarian Price.
Oh.
2 years, not this year.
Yes. I would take Jadarian Price.
I had a feeling you would.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's more my cup of tea.
Yeah, and you loved him.
And I loved him, and I've been around, and, of course, whether it's my dad's career or my own career, I've seen running backs and just how quickly it can fall off.
Right.
Again, when you're in multiple car crashes every game for 5 years straight, your body breaks down. And so that's where, it's an interesting conversation. McCaffrey's still going to have a good year. Don't get me wrong, because Shanahan's going to use him to death still in the pass game like we saw, and he's going to get carries in the run game. But is it going to be difference-making plays? And that's what we get down to. And that's what we always talk about. Like, yes, stats are cool against the middle class and the lower class, but as the season goes on, you start to play the really good teams, you got to make big plays.
Right.
You got to have somebody that can take the pressure off the team. And I think that's where I worry about the 49ers, and I certainly worry about McCaffrey that way.
While this sounds like criticism, I actually think it's a credit that McCaffrey has evolved his game or adapted his game enough that at 30, he's still this guy. He went from, like you said, we talk about him the way we talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, to McCaffrey's really reliable in short yardage, and he's a great pass catcher. And he went from super elite athlete to he's a little crafty in some ways now, and he's incredibly strong.
Right.
So it's not the criticism that people think it is. It's more just that a lot of guys at 30 are done.
Exactly.
Done.
Yes.
And he's still really good.
Right.
It's just different.
It's different. And he'd be another example. I go, in his prime and as explosive as enough, people didn't give him enough credit.
Right.
Because
where he was.
He can score 70 from 70 yards.
Right.
But people are like, oh, he's white. He's in Carolina. I'm not sure. Then he got banged up. And then people were like, oh, he'll never stay healthy. And, of course, he showed people that he can stay healthy there. But, yeah, it's more of that. He's got an incredible skill set. There's no doubt about that. And he's smart as hell. He's a psycho. He's a gym rat. Everything you want. And I know Shanahan loves him, and they're going to base a lot of the offense around him. But, yeah, there's a gear missing. And we saw a gear miss from Saquon Barkley last year, and we saw one kind of go down with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, the good thing he's got is that he's got incredible size, and he's got a quarterback that everybody's so scared that's going to keep the ball going around the other end, that it gives him some advantages at times with, maybe some bigger holes or some angles that other running backs don't get the benefit of.
Do you think Kyle will ever draft a running back early? Because they traded for McCaffrey when McCaffrey was still at the height of his powers.
Yeah.
they basically take a day 3 guy, it feels like almost every year.
Yes.
None of those guys have really turned into a big win.
No, I know. Because he's been able to his whole
It's
career.
like a victim of his own success.
Exactly. He watched his dad get guys in the middle rounds and go, hey, he turned Terrell Davis into a Hall of Famer. He made this guy a leading rusher in football, and he was like a 5th-round pick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So he's taken that. He was in Washington with, Betts, Alfred Morris, excuse me.
Alfred Morris, of course. He's one of the
6th-round pick.
Yes.
2nd leading rusher in football his rookie year, right? So he's been from that. I will say, and I don't think he'll have a problem with me sharing this, he was definitely leading up to the draft, intrigued by Jadarian Price at the end of the 1st round. He was. I don't think, as they got closer, I think they went, wait, we got to go a different direction.
Because they could have took him.
But there was definitely,
Yeah.
did me and him have some conversations about him going, hey, what do you think of Jadarian Price? And I was, you know my thoughts.
Right.
I liked him a lot.
Right.
So,
well, we had so much Notre Dame during the year that
we
we
just
saw
got to
him
see it
very
all
early.
the time,
Yeah.
right? And we get to hear all the stories behind the scenes.
Yep.
Jason Garrett tells us what kind of guy he is and everything. So yes, I do think there'll be a time though where if the stars align and they really need it, I don't think he'll be scared if it's a difference-making guy to draft him early. Definitely not. I mean, listen, he was drooling over Jeremiah Love when he saw him this year. I know that. So
doesn't?
he would make that move. I do believe that.
Yeah, it's another good running back class next year, too. Having already watched some of it, it's maybe next year will be the year. We do have some NFL news.
Right.
Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
We've been waiting. He's one of the big names left out on the market. Turns 33 in November. Was still tied. He had the 10th most first down catches last year among all pass catchers.
Yes.
So that speaks to his productivity and what he could do.
Totally.
I love this fit.
I do too.
I mean, number one, you just shut down the Ayuk stuff.
Yep.
Not that it was ever going to go that way with where we got, but it's like, nope, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And it feels like a good compliment to Terry McLaurin.
I
when
think
healthy.
so.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we did our exercise about most important players on the roster in the NFC East, and I picked Terry McLaurin because I was like, if he gets hurt,
oh my goodness,
what do they got? So to your point, exactly right. Diggs was awesome for them. He's perfect. He got McLaurin, who we know is more of a deep target, deep intermediate target. And now you have Stefon Diggs to like what you just said with the stats in the first down. If it's 3rd and 5, Stefon Diggs will run an awesome route at 8 yards and get open all day long. If it's 3rd and 4, he'll get a 6-yard route and get open. He's a tremendous route runner that way. So he's got great value. No, you don't line him up outside anymore and just go, run by the best corners in football. That's not what he is. But he can still run, and he's a football junkie. He's really smart and instinctive, and he's one of the most high-level route runners in all of the sport. So I think this was perfect. You're right. And it squashes the Ayuk thing and having to deal with that. I don't want to say it squashes it, but certainly they're not desperate for it anymore.
Right.
And maybe if they get Ayuk, they can get him from like the minimum now or something like that because they'll go, hey, you messed up and, we gave him your money. So now we don't have much anymore. And it could be a reality of the situation. But I, like you, thought that was a big-time move by Adam Peters and company there in Washington. They needed to get that done because it was scary. If there's no Terry McLaurin, you go, I don't know who the hell they're going to throw to that we're really, really, tried and true to feel confident about.
And as we showed Diggs' stat lines over the years, I mean, the resume speaks for itself. He kind of unlocks young quarterbacks in certain he has a good rapport with young quarterbacks right out of the gate.
He's a great leader. He's a great leader. He's a great communicator. He's just got great aura and coolness about him. The locker room's going to love him. That's why Cardi B's of the world go hang out with him because they're like, hey, he's kind of cool. But it's also why he was probably still out in the street a little bit. He's crossed over mainstream superstar, right? He had his little candy box on the boat last year.
He's playing on basically one-year deals.
Yeah, he's been playing on one-year deals, right? He's 2 years off of ACL. He had the boat incident where, he was giving the girls candy out of his candy box. He had he's had a few off-the-field legal issues. And then, he's big time. He's crossed mainstream superstar. He's going over to Paris for Fashion Week. He's dating Cardi B. And not every team wants to deal with all of that. So I think that's probably why he was out there this long. But, yeah, I think this was a great signing by him. He's going back home to his home area there. And I really thought it would be maybe Washington. I thought maybe would Baltimore get him.
Yeah, sounds like
Baltimore. I even thought the 49ers with all their
substation
substation injuries again. They might
run out of wide receivers already.
Here we go again.
And it's training camp, so buyer beware. It sounds like Baltimore is excited about the young receivers.
It does sound like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have Zay, of course.
Yeah.
But they drafted 2.
Yep.
Jacoby Lane, we'll see what – it just sounds like there's some moments
I'm
there.
excited to see it and who that is and who jumps out. Yeah, Jacoby Lane's been getting a lot of hype out there. So that's cool. And one last thing on Zay Flowers. Everybody in the world is just like shocked that he's getting paid the same thing as Justin Jefferson. Okay, it's 3 years later. He's a top 10 receiver. It's just the way the market goes. Nobody's saying he's Justin Jefferson, but does he deserve to be in the class of that conversation, the guys he's up there with? Yes. And we all got to start wrapping our heads around this. Like, tier 2 receivers are going to start making this, right? The number ones on most teams we're going to start seeing going into the 40s like we're seeing. The number 2s, right? We had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were like $32 million and $26 million. Okay, evolution is going to go 5 years later. It's going to be A.J. Brown, let's just use him as an example, right? And Devontae Smith is going to be $42 million and $32 million for the number 2 receiver. So that's where we're going here. So I don't know why everybody was so surprised by that, but Zay Flowers to me is one of the ultimate weapons in the sport. And then also with the team and how you play and how they play with Lamar Jackson, he is a perfect scheme fit that way. And he's got Declan Doyle, the offensive coordinator there, who just came from Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I go,
he knows how to use
him. I don't know. I mean, Zay Flowers might be more dangerous than Amon-Ra in open space.
He's
maybe not quite elusive, more elusive, right? Amon-Ra's probably a little bigger and stronger.
For sure.
Exactly.
Stronger. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same player in theory. So, I mean, I would think we're going to see Zay Flowers kill it on the stats this year. Over 100 receptions. He gets over 1,000 yards last year, even without Lamar in a number amount of games. So I don't know why everybody's so shocked about this. I do believe he deserves to be in this class. And by this time next year, he'll be at the very bottom of this here, where he'll be number 10th or 11th as far as the highest paid wide receivers go.
It's an interesting point by you. There's this big gap all of a sudden now in the wide receiver market that all the big dogs are going to be in the 40-plus, which Chase and JSN just got. I'm sure Justin Jefferson will get reworked to that eventually. And, a lot of young receivers will bump into that market. And then there's this giant gap to Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brandon Ayuk was on this, Nico Collins is, which doesn't feel right, but it's the way it is, that you're right. That's a different tier now. Those guys, most of them are number ones on their team, but they are not paid as the tier 1 wide receivers.
No, they're not. And, some of those guys I would argue are there and are tier 1 receivers, But, yeah, I think you're going to see this more and more. Receiver position, we're out of this 12-year-ago thought where, you don't need good receivers to win a Super Bowl. Now we're in the thought of if you don't have good receivers, don't even worry about the Super Bowl. You better have something else, something really special other than that.
We'll see on Radio Row.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that means.
Exactly. We're going to see more of what we see with the Bengals. It's going to be, the number 1's making $40 million, the number 2's making $29, and T. Higgins. Or, in a few years from now, it's going to be the number 1's making $45, and the number 2's making $35 or $34. That's where we are right now in the sport. So, and the position's just too valuable, especially for the special ones. We'll see where it goes. They are growing on trees in college. Maybe that'll affect things here eventually.
Most interesting non-quarterback upcoming contract in football has to be George Pickens.
Ooh, you're right. I mean, George, yes, my thoughts about George Pickens.
If he stepped on the free agent market, anyone could talk to me.
Yes.
I think he gets probably $40 million a year. Is that nuts? A year from now?
No,
not now.
Exactly. If he does what he did last year,
right? Yes, he has
and
to
just
replicate
as the right guy off the field too, because he's got to rebuild his reputation. I think that's where he finally realized, all right, I'm just going to take the franchise tag this year because the whole league thinks I'm a little bit of a wild child. Right. So we'll see where this goes.
He's 25.
Exactly. So if he stays on the right path here and has a year like he did last year, George Pickens will probably be the highest paid receiver in football, I think. I mean, he's worthy of that. We always talk about guys that are, you're worthy of getting in the conversation, and then there's the guys that are worthy of, he's worthy of being next, the highest paid guy for a period of time, like Jahmyr Gibbs at running back. He's worthy of being the highest paid guy for a little while. And, I think that George Pickens is, if he signs and is the number 1 paid receiver next year, I'm not going to go, oh, wow, that's what they're crazy. I'm going to go, I totally can see that and believe that.
One last comment. This is from Spencer66. Good to see you on a Friday, Chris. Well, get used to it. We're here every Friday from now on through the season.
You're right. And as we get to the season and get closer, I will be on PFT every Friday morning as well with Mike Florio. So, man, they are going to use me and abuse me on Fridays. Yeah.
Yes.
Here I am. Here we go. But we We appreciate everybody tuning in today. You know where to find us. We'll be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week, 11 a.m. on the NBC YouTube page. Enjoy the weekend. We had football. We got more football. We'll have more guests for you. Connor, you the man.
Fun week, man.
Peace out, homies. We'll see you next time.